Jury chief arrivals could have used you sooner, but welcome just the same. I'm in the mansion, command center. Injured, but intact. Most everyone else is, well, you got eyes. Look, we need to get this situation under control ASAP. Be ready for anything. Be advised, we lost contact with 3 of our scientists in town trying to stop the outbreak. Find them, bring them home. We need brain power as much as fire.
Getting proud of that one.
Suck you. Keep pushing. We need to find out what caused all this, even if it turns out it was us.
Glass jaw, fucking figures. Now this shit's like you never know when to pick. You related to Peck? Get over there, you overgrown slot machine. Catch up on the box. You know exactly what this girl wants. At this point, I don't care that she's fucking acorn. She got this stuff. Come on! See? Was that so hard? You don't always need to be such a massive twat. let's shoot straight, and we go. I see the mystery box.
Turn to peace.
Can't tell you how much I love problems here. I'll tell you the same thing I told my ex during my last CI. We lost the room for another day.
What is the purple cloud and Liberty Falls for?
Is the full solo Liberty Falls Easter. Can't access this section app, but you can either shoot it down with a Mingler cannon or just charge into it with a mutant injection. And inside of this, there's a couple of piles of wires all on the ground, and they're a little bit difficult to see, but you'll basically just you can either shoot it down with a Mingler cannon or just charge into it with a mutant injection. And inside of this, there's a couple of piles of wires all on the ground, and they're a little bit difficult to see, but you'll basically just interact with these until you get a set of wires. And once you get that, that will be your second part for the jet gun. And then the third and final part is going to take us over to the graveyard. And you're just going to need to hang out here and kill zombies until you see a special one that's called the Groundskeeper. Now, he looks like somewhat of a normal zombie, but he has a different name. He can either spawn right away, or he might take a couple of seconds to appear. If he's not appearing for a little while, you can leave and try to come back to the area. He shouldn't take too long, honestly, but
swear this is like every time. The box hates me. Not proper care. Okay, I do care. It's pretty. Honestly, it's not a bad makeover. I think you look great. Again, flattering is proper like good birds.
Points.
Putting my bed in. Oh, I'd sooner put my money on a three-legged horse. If I find out that you can get on Facebook, rectangular bastard, I'm gonna turn you into your own funeral pyre. Things are pretty dog shit as it is. No need to make it worse. You got it? Rocker. Looks like there'll be no rest till exfil. Oh, yeah. Normal guns are for suckers.
Good guy. Seems he's locked in, sticking around on the hill.
Once you kill this specific zombie, he should drop a set of keys, and this goes to the groundkeeper set over on the left side, kind of like where the flowers shop is. So once you'll take this key over to the locker, you'll open up this door, and then inside it will be your final part to the jet gun, which will be the handle. And so with all three parts acquired, we can go over back to the motor lounge, and then this sort of hotel room, we can go up into the left side and then craft the jet gun.
All right, let's see what you can keep locked up in here. A handle? I can do that.
Chuck a C4. And I'll do it again. Never
Double kill.
Nothing your spooky picture. Nothing scary than my white book. Time to bring the pain. If it's music, shut up, fucking down.
Right here. Just be careful when you're doing. Then there's going to be another LTG part that you can pull out of the window just the same way you did. is pretty easy to acquire. Once you've got the jet gun, we're going to come over to the comic shop, and then you're going to look up, and directly into the ceiling hole there should be this sort of like long canister part that you can use your R1 ability on the jet gun to pull out of the ceiling and then pick up. You should get this yellow glow on your screen if you've picked up the item, and you can also additionally check your inventory just to double check that you have. Now, we can immediately leave the comic section, go up these stairs, and then around the corner from that flower shop, go onto this rooftop, and then we're going to jump onto the top of this white truck. It's pretty much the only way to get on top of here. And then if you come over to the edge of the sort of backside, you're going to look in this window, and then there's going to be another LTG part that you can pull out of the window just the same way you did from the comic shop. And that will be our LTG piece number 2. Now, for our third one, we can head back over to the church where our homeboy is, and then you can grab this piece out of the air that's sitting right next to him, and then that should be all 3 pieces complete. Once all 3 LTG pieces have been acquired, we can take this zip line to go to the top of this roof where the Wonder Fizz machine is, and over here on the left is a crafting bench that allows you to put together the LTG. Now, once you've done this, I recommend heading back to the church and then going to grab this ether canister. It should be kind of like popped out of the machine a little bit after some dialogue, and then you'll be able to pick this one up. And then we can make our way back to the bottom of the town, and you can see where this sort of like ether storm is. There will be this holder underneath it where you can actually put the LTG device. And once that is inserted, it's going to start this portal, and you need to defend this from zombies. Like, they're going to be trying to sacrifice themselves by throwing themselves into the portal, which will damage the health. And it's not super strong, so you really need to be careful here. And this can be tricky with a lot of players. On solo, it's not too bad, but you still need to be quite mindful because it can go down fairly easily. But you'll defend this for about 30 seconds, and right when it's done, you're going to get an HVT to spawn. Do not kill this thing. What you're going to want to do, in my opinion, is get it down to about half, or I don't know, 25% HP, and then you're going to take that ether canister that you had earlier. You may have noticed that you can't sprint while holding the ether canister, but you can drop them and pick them up wherever you like. So I recommend leaving it here in this parking lot, and then once your HVT is low health, you can bring this ether canister, or if it's just sitting there already, bring your HVT over to the section, turn on the trap, and then while your HVT is caught in the purple, ethereal trap with your ether canister in the vicinity as well, you can kill that HVT, and its soul will charge up that ether canister fully. And then you've got about a minute and a half to pick up and then walk it back to the machine, because obviously, once again, you can't sprint with it. It's not too bad if you just walk a straight line there. You should be able to return it in without having to deal with any zombies, no problem. And then, assuming you've done that correctly, that will be that step complete. And then right when you've done it, the machine will spit out another device, which is like the Strauss, Geiger counter thing. It's like, it looks like a little cell phone. You're going to pick up this small device with a screen, and then you're going to go around and find 3 projectors. One of these is over here by the locker that we opened up earlier, but it's just sort of a little bit down the road. Now, this step's kind of confusing. It says it wants you to calibrate these to the sort of purple clouds that are in front of it. And the way you do this that is the most consistent for me is you're going to look at your phone by pressing L2, and you're going to look at the color that it gives you. And then you're not going to change the projector to what it says, but essentially the opposite. So I found if your cell phone reads red, go ahead and change that projector that you're looking at to green. And if your projector is yellow, put it on yellow. But if your projector is green, then put it on red. It's very strange. I don't know why this works, but I've gotten this to work every time by doing the opposite of what the cell phone tells you on the projector. Unless it's yellow, then just do yellow. You'll set it to that, and then you're going to wait a couple seconds. You'll know you've done it right if these begin to shift angle, and then all of a sudden this like purple beam protrudes out of them and then goes towards the spawn area. You'll know you've completed that step if that happens. If you're having trouble, just, move your projectors a couple of times and eventually they should work. But by doing the opposite colors, unless yellow, it seems to work for me every time. Either way, once you get these to start shooting the purple beam, you're going to go back to spawn, and that device that was previously inaccessible earlier will now have a brand new ether canister for you. So go ahead and pick this up, and then what you're going to want to do is walk this just in front of Speed Cola. There is yet another ether trap here, and then just go ahead and drop your ether canister right away, and then leave that there for now. go back to the spot where we had our LTG device initially that was sort of in the street that created the portal. Go ahead and pick that device back up, and then what we're going to do is bring it over to the cemetery or the graveyard, and there's going to be another purple ethereal cloud, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. Put it down. It's going to have you defend from a portal. Once again, 30 seconds, same deal. And then after successfully defending that, you're going to get another HVT to spawn. However, this one is most likely going to be a Mangler, and he's a little bit easier to deal with, in my opinion, than the Abomination is. But once again, same exact procedure. Get him down to about a quarter health. That seems to be the sweet spot for me. And then go ahead and bring him down the street. And then once he's about to this car, you can go ahead and activate the trap. Make sure the ether canister is in this vicinity or in this radius of the trap as well. And then go ahead and kill your HVT with them both inside of the trap. Once you've done that correctly, his soul should go into that final ether canister, and then you can go ahead and bring this inside of the church and then place the final third one into the machine, and then that should be all three of them. Now, at this point, you'll be given the option to start the SDG, I think, or basically the final encounter. It'll give you a warning message and say this is the final encounter. Now, depending on what round you do this, like if you're, I don't know, under round 15, I wouldn't recommend doing this, especially if you're playing solo, because it doesn't work off the difficulty of the round you're on. It has sort of like a set instance. So what I would recommend from here, if you're under round 15 or even 20, I recommend pushing to at least round 23 to 25. The good news is at round 25, you get access to Deadshot, which is very important for this, and I highly recommend it. Go for, legendary weapons, tier 3 Pack-a-Punch, and then try to get all your perks if you can. It's really no thing to scoff at. Like, you're going to want to make sure you're actually prepared for this. You don't need to be armed to the teeth necessarily, but you want to make sure you have Deadshot, Jug, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, etc. And absolutely, without a doubt, have a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch weapon, and make sure that thing is probably legendary rarity. A couple of helpful tips here. You cannot use anything airborne based, so no chopper gunners, Hellstorm missiles. Don't worry about those. Forget about them. You can't actually use them in this dark ether setting, so they're not worth keeping. You can use Mangler cannons, and you can use mutant injections. Those are probably the best friend you'll have in here. They obviously cost a lot of scrap, but if you can find a couple of them, maybe naturally, bring a mutant injection in, and it will help you out a ton. But assuming you are prepared to do this, we can go and activate the final encounter, and what you're going to do is survive 3 onslaught waves. First wave is simple enough. It's mostly just super sprinting zombies and a couple of regular Manglers. This one's not too bad. You do have an ammo box here on the left side that you can use at your leisure if you run out of ammo, but the first phase, honestly, is not really too crazy. Phase 2, it gets a bit tricky because you'll have a couple regular Manglers, some normal zombies, obviously, and then you're going to have an HVT Elite Mangler. These can be pretty tricky because they have a lot more health than a typical Mangler, and if you don't take them out quickly, those projectile damage can really start to stack up over time. It's pretty crazy, but make sure you deal with this as quickly as possible, even though it might take you a little bit of time to take this one down. The HVTs are definitely no joke, so if you have a mutant injection, it's certainly worth using it on these. But assuming you make it through that one successfully, phase 3 is easily the hardest, and please make sure that you save your resources for this one if possible. You're going to fight a bunch of regular enemies, and then 2 HVT Manglers, and a Mega Abomination HVT variant as well. So you've got 3 big giant enemies to deal with. If you still have your mutant injection, if you brought one in, I'd say now would be certainly the time to pop that thing if you haven't already, because it doesn't get any tougher than this. Make sure you deal with that Abomination first and foremost. The Manglers can be, less tricky to deal with, but get that Abomination the hell out of here. So once he's dead, you take out the rest of these enemies. The third phase should complete, and then finally, you're going to notice that you did it right when you just go down out of nowhere, and then the final cutscene of the map will play. I won't spoil it for you, I'll let you experience it for yourself, but that is how to do the entire Liberty Falls solo main Easter egg. I hope this video did help, guys. If this did, just make sure to leave a like on the video. It's completely free, and be sure to subscribe as well. We're going for 1 million subs, and I would greatly appreciate it. I'll have plenty more zombies content for you. Just wanted to...
They acting bad.
Anyone else want to run for a brick wall with me?
Double call.
See that way? How about you get up to the glass and give it a shot?
Fine a second.
Supposed to be getting a habit of flipping the bird for my trouble, isn't it? Quick time on you. You lucky undead bastard.
Max out.
Boy, you're saying you got snacks in there? I could
You can
really
really
tell
tell
you
you
some
some
lines right now.
Your project security test. A so-called rapid response team.
Man, too much going on out there anyway.
Stop shit.
Is that a rifle? Weapon? Looks like you already found some parts.
Turn to peace.
Frank, control the water pressure. Andy, that should be any standard pressure well.
Get Bill back on there.
Twat. I can always mark what it was. Check the boat as we find out that you'll be there.
fixed. Alright, well, guys, Casey here, and I'm back with... I want to shoot off his right arm. And then when you do that, he'll just chase you. You just want to stay a little bit of a ways ahead of him.
Black Ops 6 Zombies will allow players to blow the arm cannon off of the Mangler and use it as a powerful weapon. The Mangler's arm cannon can be picked up off of the ground once you have removed it from the Mangler's body. You'll only get a few shots from the Mangler's arm cannon before it runs out of ammo, so use the shots once.
No one shall travel on top of the base.
Let's have a look inside.
Well, that's just good plain
Jack, that's the wire for the jet. I think that's everything you need for the jet gun. Let's head back to the hotel and slap this thing together.
Efficiencies is king for my business. This is making me. Oh yeah, it's still a little risky now.
That's right. We need to on. Get to it, soldiers.
Panelists, don't forget who's in command here.
protects itself. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. That's not familiar. Weird. That is all of them. Now, find the worst things to put together. Dr. Yates can't get you those communications.
I'm worried about the director. I saw him in his starting and his comms went dark.
Well, if I'm ready, anything is established with easy. Doesn't you know that? It's not so.
Who are you talking to?
Looks like I found the prize at the bottom of the cereal box.
The LPG summons highly valued targets so we can steal their life energy.